Hello YouTube, this is Atlanta to Dallas Aviation coming to you with another video, and like the most recent videos, it is focused again on my Delta collection. So this is fleet video number 10. Fleet video number 9 involved the onward and upward livery, which I had to split into RJs and Boeings and then Airbus. Well, this one is going to be, well, actually it's going to be mostly Boeing with a little bit of McDonnell Douglas and some RJs in it. However, you are seeing that it is the colors in motion currently in the frame, but we are doing colors in motion, the Ron Allen, and some special liveries that I have not already done. So we're going to go ahead and get to this. So the first plane you see furthest away from the camera is a Delta Connection operated by Chautauqua. It's an Embraer 145. It was released by Gemini Jets, and as you might be able to see, it has the 800th ERJ logo on it, and it was manufactured in 2006. So a lot of the models you're going to see here today were prior, or actually all of them are prior to 2010 for sure, and most of them are even prior to 2005. So you're going to, that's partly because that's when models for these liveries were brand new. The liveries themselves were brand new, so the model companies were putting them out as the most current livery. So that is why I got so many color and motions. You're going to see that I don't have very many Ron Allens, partly because A, the Ron Allen wasn't the quote current livery for very long, and B, I really do not like the Ron Allen livery. I just don't. I think it's blah and boring. So I don't have very many of those, and I haven't bought any, like NG Models put out a 757, which granted the 757 itself is a better one than the one I'm going to show you, but I wasn't going to spend money on any more Ron Allens. I quit. I do not. There's only one model that if I ever see it available again, I might get the Ron Allen version. Is the Atlantic Southeast Airlines Delta Connection ATR 72. So I might, and that's a big might, I might buy that if that one ever becomes available and I feel like I have some extra money to purchase it. But what mostly you're going to see is colors in motion, which I believe is the actual name of the livery. It also goes by Delta Flight and Wavy Gravy, but I believe colors in motion is the I don't want to say legal, but that's the official, I'm sorry, so it's the official name of the livery is what I was trying to get at. All right, so moving on from the Chautauqua ERJ 145, the next one right next to it is Atlantic Southeast Airlines. So Delta Connection operated by Atlantic Southeast Airlines, or otherwise known as ASA, which you can see right there underneath the cockpit windows. This model was manufactured in 2007. It's a CRJ 700, and it was put out by Gemini Jets. And the special livery is silver and soaring, so it's ASA's 25th anniversary airplane. I got to actually see that in person when I worked there. I have a picture of it somewhere, but it was before I had a really, well, I'm not even going to say, I still don't have a really good camera, but before I even had a reasonable, decent camera. So the quality of the picture isn't that great, but I have a picture of it. Probably even of the inside of it. Alright, so we're going to move on from that one. The next wavy gravy. The next color in motion is Delta Express 737-200. This one was manufactured in 2002, and it also is a Gemini Jets release. Next door to that one, we have another Delta Express in special livery of the Powerpuff Girls. And so that one obviously is a Boeing 737-200. It too was put out in 2002, but it's a big bird. So this big bird is Bravo 4-2002-X-ray X-ray is the item number for this one. Next to that one, and extremely tail heavy, which is unfortunate. Let me see. We are not focusing. There we go. All right. So very tail heavy, as you can see. This one is additionally a Gemini Jets release. It was released in 2004. It's a 737-300. Alright, moving on to our first 737-800. This one is a Delta Shuttle, as you can see there. Delta Shuttle, and this one is my Herpa release. Let's see if I find it on my trusty paper here. Yes, okay, so the Herpa release 737-800 Delta Shuttle was manufactured in 2002 to 2003. Now, what I'm about to say, I do not know if this is actually true or not, but I have manufactured dates on Dragon Wings and Herpas that usually span a whole year, or maybe even two years. And I think that both Dragon Wings and Herpa would manufacture these models for a certain period of time. So unlike Gemini Jets, who would manufacture a whole batch and then announce it for a specific month, and they last as long as they last and then they're gone, Dragon Wings and Herpa seem to, or used to anyway, would manufacture them for a certain amount of time, for an extended period of time, and then stop manufacturing it and move on to something else. So their I don't know, strategy or whatever you want to call it, of releasing models was a little bit different than Gemini jets or even NG models at this point. So anyway, so this is the Herpa release, and it's pretty good. I never really liked Herpa all that much, but I do have a smattering of Herpa in my collection, and this isn't the only Herpa that you'll see in this video today. All right, so now we're moving on to the second Delta shuttle that I have. This one is also a 737-800. This one, however, is a Dragon release, manufactured in 2000 and 2001. All right, so this is a Dragon release. This this tail number here is November 395 Delta November, and it was released at the same time as another oh, the one next to it. So it was released at is it the same time? I'm sorry, let me check my sheet here. No, actually this was done supposedly the first year, and then the next one, which isn't Delta Shuttle, which is also Dragon Wings. This one, in the database, if you were to go to Waffle Collectibles and go to the database, if you were to look this up, both of these models have the same item number, which is kind of strange, but they have the exact same item number. But this release, which is just a normal Delta Colors in Motion 737-800, this one's tail number was supposed to be, and in the pictures in the database, is supposed to be November 394 Delta Alpha. However, my version actually has the exact same tail number as the Delta Shuttle. So I don't know, and I could not find this tail number in the database as being a separate release from the one that was 394 Delta Alpha. So I might actually have a one-off here. Surely it's not a one-off. Probably somebody else has this one with the same, what I'm saying is a screw up, because the other one is 395 Delta November. This one, oh well, that's interesting. Okay, I am getting very confused here, because I was checking this out purposely. Now that says 394 Delta Alpha. And that one, and the Delta Shuttle is 395 Delta November. Okay. Sorry, you might... Oh. Well, it's still... So... my release is still interesting. I thought I had checked this before I was making my video. So the side you're looking at here actually does have 394 Delta Alpha on it. But on the starboard side, it's the same aircraft number printed over there as the Delta Shuttle one is, which I thought was the case. And I thought I looked at my individual aircraft closely on both sides to see if that was the case, because it occurred to me that it might be. But even But when I was looking at this in the database has a picture of this on both sides, and I am almost positive that 394 Delta Alpha, which is supposedly the correct one, was printed on both sides of the aircraft. But mine has 395 Delta November printed on the starboard side. So very strange. It's still strange even though it's not on both sides. But anyway, so we're going to move on now because I still have a lot of planes to cover. All right, so our first Ron Allen. This one's also a Dragon Wings release from 2001 to 2002. Same as that one as far as release dates are concerned, or manufactured dates. And that one does have the registration the same on both sides. All right. So moving on to row number 2. So that's all the 737s. We now have our second Ron Allen. Our second Ron Allen way over there, 757-200. And that one is a 2000 release. So interestingly enough, I don't know if you can tell from here, but in 2000, not Dragon Wings, but Gemini Jets had not only did they have a one-piece wing section, but they also had a one-piece horizontal stabilizer section. But I don't know if you can see the crease. It's just behind the L3 door, which also means it's right behind the R3 door if we were to look at the other side. So this one's so early that this was Gemini Jet's first mold for the 757. So as we move on to the Colors in Motion release, the Colors in Motion release was in 2004 for November 608 Delta Alpha, and by 2004 they were on their second mold, I guess. I don't know if they have a third mold. They may still be using this one, or maybe not. I don't know that for sure, but they have, by this time in 2004, they have gotten rid of the one-piece horizontal stabilizer, so no more gap for that piece on the model. Moving on to our next special livery, which is also a 757-200, which we're now back on the original mold that has the one-piece horizontal stabilizer. This one, yes, it was also put out in 2000, and it is in the official airline of the 2002 Salt Lake City Winter Olympic scheme. So there you have that one. Moving on to the next largest jet, we have the Gemini Jet 767-300. It was manufactured and probably released in 2003. And as you can see, this is early on. So the 767-300 was this was an earlier on mold, and as you can kind of see here, right here, look at the nose, it's really pointy. So there was a there was a batch, and it wasn't just of Delta. It was several, when they did several 737-300s. I'm sorry, did I say 737? I meant 767-300s. Several of them had these kind of pointy noses. And I remember on the blogs at the time, people were complaining about the pointy nose. And they did eventually fix that. But at the time, this one, put out by Dragon Wings, was still considered the better mold at the time. As you can see, the nose is a little more rounded, but it's not quite the right shape either. This one, like I said, is a Dragon Wings release, and it was manufactured 2001 to 2002. Yes, folks, I have been collecting that long, because that was a new model when I bought it. Not new to me, a new model. And then, thanks to our friend at Yesterday's Airlines, we now know that the quite old Dragon Wings 767-400 mold, in his opinion, is better than the current and newer Gemini Jets 767-400. But here is my 767-400 from Dragon Wings. It was manufactured between 2000 and 2001. Alright, so we move on to our MD-11s. That might be too close. No? Alright, good. We're not too close here. Alright, so this MD-11 is a Dragon Wings, and this is supposedly the second version that they put out. So they had, I want to say there were 3 versions of this. I don't quite remember what the database said, but I believe there were 3. This is the second one with a chrome belly. Not sure if you can really tell that in the video, but it's a chrome belly, and it was manufactured by Dragon Wings of the years 1999 and 2000. So this is a turn of the century model, if you will. And that one is in Ron Allen livery. Not the last Ron Allen you're going to see, but second to last. Alright, our next MD-11 is manufactured by Gemini Jets in the year 2003. And that one is in Colors in Motion. Our last, let's see. So our last Ron Allen livery is on, well, if it focuses, is on a, hey, come on. Come on, camera. I only have a little bit of time left. Let's, all right, hopefully that'll stay. This is our last Ron Allen. This one is my other Herpa release that I spoke of. It was manufactured in 2000 and 2001. Again, by Herpa. Not, I mean, I guess the body is good, but the Herpa engines were, like we complain about the Gemini Jet engines, CFM 56 engines being too large. Well, this Herpa one, these engines are too large for this one. And it's just not a super great mold. Alright, so the next one, The next one, this one is a Gemini Jets release in 2001. Hold on, I'm sorry, nope. I'm reading the wrong one. Hold on, let me find the correct one. No, this release is 2003 in Colors and Motion. So this is literally the second, I'm gonna say the second mold of the 777 that Gemini had, similar to the 757. Prior to 2003, it had a one-piece horizontal stabilizer piece, which gave us a gap in that area. And they, between 2001 and 2003, somewhere in there, they improved their mold to get rid of that part. So this is November 863 Delta Alpha, and this is the second version. So they actually did this registration on the first mold of 777s that they had. So this, why do the same registration and just redo it on a improved mold? I don't know. It annoys me, and you're not going to see the first version of this. I have that one in a box. I didn't want to waste space in my display cabinet with the inferior one when I had this one. So this is the one you're seeing, but there is a second one which is on the first mold that has the same registration. And then this one is on the first mold. You probably can't tell, but there is a gap here. So this is a one-piece horizontal stabilizer here. And this one is the one that was released in 2001 by Gemini Jets as the official airline of the 2002 Salt Lake City Winter Olympics. My wife and I actually flew on this aircraft in 2001 to London, Gatwick. So that one has a little bit more meaning to me than just being a cool livery. And I probably, if another one gets put out on a much better mold, I probably won't replace it. There's very little of my collection that I buy the exact same thing to replace a quote inferior one. So this one is the one I'll probably keep. I probably won't spend any money to replace it. Now what I don't have in the picture here, and I actually meant to bring it out, was a Song 757. I don't remember if it's on the first mold or the second mold, but I have a Song 757 put out by Gemini Jets that's also part of my collection. I will not do a separate video on just that one aircraft. I don't have any other Song, but I meant to put it out here because even though it doesn't say Delta anywhere on it, most of us know that Song was Delta's dabble into low-cost carrier to compete with the lower cost carriers at the time, but it was quickly folded back into Delta. But I do have one of those, so just pretend that you see a Song 757. Well, that's going to do it for this video. I'm just about out of time. Please consider leaving a like if you enjoyed this video. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you have liked multiple videos of mine. And until the next video, happy collecting.